Welcome back, everybody. I don't know if you guys remember this car. I believe it was one of the first videos I ever made, I don't know, a year and a half ago during COVID. But anyway, it's a altered wheelbase. I think it's a 64 Comet with a 65 front end, or a 65 Comet with a 64 front end. I'll find that out. But anyway, and I don't know if you can tell, but the wheel's been pushed ahead, I think like 18 inches. Anyway, pretty neat nostalgia drag car. What I'm starting with first here, this is a fiberglass front bumper for that car. And it was made off of a steel bumper. And I've just got done drilling out the holes for the bumper bolts. I drilled them out to a 1/2 inch. Where's that bolt, Jack? Did I hand that to you? So we got a bumper bolt. And now what I'm going to do is, I've drilled the hole. Now I'm going to just take a file. I would like to have a coarser file, but this is what I've got. And I'm going to file that whole square to match the carriage size of that bolt. So I'll come back to you when I get it squared up. This let's see what we got, Jack. You got the bolt in your hand. Let's see what we got. There we go, folks. Look at that. Now, I will say one thing. We held the bumper. Follow me with that, Jack. We held the bumper up. And these, as you can see, the indentations from the guy who made this thing. He made it off of an actual steel bumper. These two center ones, which are the most important ones, seem to be really close. And I've kind of had no choice but to drill a hole there, because if not, it would have looked odd with the bumper there and the spot. I think you guys understand that. So I'm going to get these two front ones and get it set up and make them line up. And then I'm going to worry about moving these brackets where they need to be, because I really want this hole to line up where it's supposed to be. And then we've got the ones down at the bottom. And like you can see, you can barely tell where that one's supposed to be, but that one's really defined. So that's what I'm dealing with. And we painted this in school last year. I think there's a video about this thing getting painted, but may not be. All right, thanks, sir. Okay, our top two lined right up. Left to right, I think we're not bad at all. I mean, I know the bumper's sitting all cattywampus right now. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to get something to lay on, and we're going to spin this thing up, and I'm going to mark these, and we'll get them drilled. Got my assistant over here squaring these holes up. Oh, you just about got her, Jack. Okay, over here to this. You can see this bracket is well, I'm going to call it factory. I'm not positive it's a factory bracket, but I'm going to come over to this one. This one's been made up. I mean, there's a piece of angle iron, and on the back side of it is the round tube. You can see where it's been MIG welded. Now, the problem with this is, well, if you can see where this hole is, and as it compares to the headlight bucket, and then we come over to this side, it's nowhere near right. Now, if you're gonna go by this little notch, which I'm pretty sure is there to give a little clearance for the back side of that bolt, this one looks like it's kind of in the right spot, and this one nowhere near. And the problem I have is, in order to move this bracket over to here, I'm going to have to cut something off, because it's not like I can, you know what I mean? That type of adjustment's not there. But we're going to see after we get these two center ones on there what we end up with. Because as I walk back over to this bumper, if this little indentation, that little indentation is where the bolt's supposed to be. But if it wasn't there, it really wouldn't matter where that bracket was. I could put the whole bolt wherever I wanted, but it's really got to be there, because it won't look right. Not to mention, if one side the bolt's way out here and then the other side's way over here, that's not gonna look right either. But we'll figure that out as we go along. Jack got this one fitting in there nice, Jack. While Jack's filing that hole out, let me show you what this car is back here for. When they put the glass in it, these things just happen. It nicked some of the paint up around the windshield. And I think there's some around the back glass. Oh yeah, and it nicked it up around here. Now, but ultimately this car is going to be all lettered up and you won't notice much of it. Okay, we have got all the bolts in. And over here, I was able to move this bracket over, re-drill a hole in the bracket. I'm going to have to put a couple shims on the frame side of the bracket down here to make it fit right. But all in all, it looks good. Now I'm going to be taking this bumper off and undercoating the back of it. And then I've got to cut these holes out to put in the turn signals. All right. Now, I got her all taped up so we don't get any overspray. Well, I've got her almost all taped up. I'll fix that. And we're going to be spraying some undercoat on the back of this thing. After we get that done, you see these indentations? That glare is probably terrible on the camera here. Come over here. I'm going to be cutting these out and installing the parking lights, but let's see how this goes. When I do this, I treat this stuff just like it's a paint gun. Now this is a premium spray can. This one's from Eastwood, but I mean, it actually sprays at a decent pattern. But I overlap and I let off at the end of the pass, because if not, well, every time you change directions, you end up with double the amount. All right, we'll let that flash off and come back and hit her with another coat or two. Okay, I didn't film it, but this thing has a total of 3 coats of that satin black on it. And now what I'm getting ready to do is cut out this area on both ends to put some turn signals in. So basically, come around here. This is going to get cut out and make room for this bucket and this turn signal. So I'll take you along as best I can. Okay. Basically, I've put the bezel up there, traced it. I'm going to drill 4 holes in the corner, and then I'm going to cut it out with a body saw. Now I'm going to cut around. I'm going to enlarge it a little bit. Seems to be, I knew it was going to be small, but it seems to be in the right spot. So now I'm going to cut right on the outside of that line this time. I was able to set it in there and draw a really accurate line this time. I think maybe one more cut here and a little filing and we'll have it. All right. Okay, it's almost there. It's just a little tight in these corners. So I'm going to take it off with this little die grinder here. And putting a dust mask on for this one, because this is going to make some real fine stuff. And plus it's got air coming out of the end of it. It's going to be blowing debris everywhere. I just changed to a more aggressive bit here. Speed things up a little bit. Well, it's definitely getting there. I'm gonna run this marker around it, and it'll act as like a scribe, I suppose. And then if I cut it up to the line, should be able to let's see what we got here. Okay, so that was shoved in the hole. So we're gonna take it out to that line and see how we do. Well, guys, it looks like this is as good. You see how big that hole is now? And if you guys remember, I started out and it was about the size of that, which I've got it now. This is a fiberglass bumper, albeit it's a nice one. It's still fiberglass. The inconsistencies in the thickness of this fiberglass, or as you can see, I don't know how much is showing up, is amazing. And all of that is, you know, that causes things to be different. Not to mention, that's the main thing, the fact it's fiberglass. Because see, that lip and all is supposed to set against a steel, chrome steel bumper. So it's not bad. I've got a little bit of, I don't want to scratch anything up. I got a little bit of a gap there, but I don't think it's going to be that noticeable. I'm going to clean this piece of trim up. I think that is as good as I'm going to be able to get that. It's not 100%, but it's going to have to be 100% good enough. One thing I did learn, I didn't film me grinding anymore because I was grinding a little, fitting a little, grind a little, fit a little. When I do this side, I'm just going to start out big. I'm going to go right around the edge of it. Hey, and like I said, this was hand-laid fiberglass. It already is different. This side is different than that side. Like, let me show you. I'll make you dizzy moving the camera. See that? Whoop, let me get my camera up there. See that little lip? That's non-existent on that side. So this side may fit perfect. It may be worse. But I'm going to start right out cutting it a whole lot bigger than I did over there just to save time. So I'm not going to bother filming that, but I'll show you when I get done. All right. I'll show you the back of it before I turn it over. We were able to get everything on. I had to, I put a little bit of red Loctite and use it as glue to hold these little J-clips, these little sheet metal J-clips onto this bracket. And you can see that bracket is pushed up against the fiberglass. Then I just put quarter 20. They're supposed to have speed nuts and they wouldn't work on there. Quarter 20 nuts and washers with a little Loctite. The reason why I had to put Loctite on them is because I can't tighten these up enough. It could possibly, they could come loose. I can't tighten it up as much as I want to because it would crack the fiberglass. Does that make sense? Matter of fact, you might be able to see a little better on this one. See that little tab? It would end up putting too much pressure on that fiberglass. But that's what it looks like. They're all hooked up. Let me turn this thing out. This one over here fits wonderful. We cleaned it up too. Well, wonderful for a really old piece of molding and a fiberglass bumper. But this was not bad. It's just not as good as the other side. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Well, nobody's begging here, but you get the picture. Well, folks, there it is. And it turned out really nice. You can't tweak on anything because it's fiberglass and it would crack, but it fits as good as it can fit. And the lights, this is the worst of the two, but it's not bad. That one fits really nice. But let me know what you think in the comments. This was going to be a much longer video, and then when I started on this bumper, it turned into an all-day job. So this is going to be as short a video as I can on just a bumper, and we'll continue the series on fixing the little imperfection in the paint as we go along. Thanks for watching.